Lying in the rain shadow of the Rockies, eastern Wyoming looks barren. But don't let appearances fool you. There's plenty of big game afoot.
Wow, what a nice, crisp, cool day. Gosh, there's nothing better than to get out west in the dry climate of Wyoming in early fall after a hot, muggy summer. You just feel like a new man. You breathe that crisp, clean air, and you're ready to ramble. And look at this country. Huge, big, high plains, wide open antelope country. My wife, Betsy, and I have come to Wyoming for the pronghorn, one of the first big game seasons to open in the West. We're out here early, a day before the season. We're gonna do some scouting, see what's running about this country. Yeah, I can make this one if he turns.
Winchester Legends is brought to you by Winchester Ammunition, the American legend. Swarovski Optic. She Safari, clothing for her expedition. Otis Technologies, the most advanced gun care system in the world. Walker's Game Ear, hear like you've never heard before, and protect yourself from the harmful effects of muzzle blast.
Because they live in open country, pronghorns are relatively easy to find. This makes them the perfect game for anyone who loves hiking, glassing, and stalking. A perfect combination for host Ron Spomer's aggressive hunting style. He'll burn plenty of boot leather in this sagebrush forest while trying to keep out of sight. Superb vision is the antelope's first line of defense, followed by rapid flight. A good outfitter can narrow the search quickly. Ron will team up with Barlow Outfitting for a guided pronghorn hunt near Gillette, Wyoming.
We're hunting here in northeast Wyoming in the Powder River Breaks. My family homesteaded here in 1898, and I've been hunting here all my life.
And on this particular property, some of which I guess was in the Barlow family for quite a few years, we were able to take our time, not worry about any pressure. Nobody else was going to be driving through the herds. No one was going to be spooking our bucks. So we could look for a good buck, sort of mark the area, and then move off and look for another one. And we found them. I'm telling you, they've got a concentration of antelope here like I've never seen.
Sheer numbers are encouraging, but many eyes make for nervous herds. There's always someone watching, ready to sound the alarm.
I guess antelope and deer are probably my favorite because I've been hunting them most of my life.
And antelope have been dodging predators for all of their lives, perfecting the art of escape. Alarm one animal, and the entire herd is likely to run.
Mostly you want an outfitter and a guide who know the country and can take you to the good quality animals. And man, they knew the country and the animals. Hey, there should be something out in that valley. That's big. Wow.
You know, there's a buck out there.
That's a buck, huh? There's something else over there. What's that? Hey, let's check him out. This is looking like buck heaven down here. Oh, there's another one running. See that one chasing that doe?
Yeah.
He looks pretty good.
You know, this one over here to the left doesn't look too bad. Maybe we should go down there and put the spotting scope on him.
That's a good one. You think he's better than that one coming down that sage hill over there? See, he's looking. I'll bet you he wants to challenge the one with the does. Yeah, he's probably.
Yeah, he's headed right for him.
Yeah, let's go look at him.
Let's go take a look at him.
Let's put that spotter on him and see if it's him. Do you think it's him?
You know, we're not going to know until we take a better look.
Yeah, get the spotter on him. He looks heavy enough to be, but he's a long ways out there already. Boy, he really put on some miles in a hurry. Of course, he's an antelope, so you check him out. There's another buck coming out of the bottom here. I'll check him. Yeah, his prongs start well above his ear tips, the way it looks from here. But boy, after, he just doesn't have anything on top. After his prongs, you know, he doesn't have a lot of length on the tops. He's just got all that mass and that junk on the bases.
You know, Ron, after looking at this gnarly buck again, I'm really liking this guy behind us
I am too.
better. He's just got that 1/2 to 3/4 inch length on him that just...
He's sort of better balanced all the way around. This guy's got
Yes.
the character because
Right.
of the thickness and all the bumps and stuff, which is neat. But this one's a classic. You know, he's got the even balance on everything, it seems like. Anyway, enough of it that I want to go take another look.
Okay, well, let's go.
Oh, I'm a fussy shopper. A picky eater and a fussy shopper.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Hey, that's what we're out here for, you know? We're having fun. Pull the trigger and it's all over.
That's right.
We don't wanna
And what a
hurt you,
beautiful day.
Darn right.
All right.
Winchester Legends is brought to you by She Safari, clothing for her expedition. Night and Hail Game Calls, bring 'em closer. Winchester Rifles and Shotguns, the guns that work. Walker's Game Ear, hear like you've never heard before, and protect yourself from the harmful effects of muzzle blast.
Was the first people through here, obviously, were the mountain men. Of course, the Indians were living here. This was Cheyenne country. Maybe
Cheyenne,
some Arapaho down there.
Blackfoot up north.
Blackfeet up north. Crow, probably.
Crow.
A little bit of Sioux encroachment because the Black Hills are partly just across the line. South Dakota,
Right.
Wyoming, right on the line.
Correct.
I know that was sacred to the Cheyenne and the Crow. You know what happened? People came here and started killing all the antelope for food and money and wiped them out. Didn't they almost wipe out the pronghorns? They were on the verge of extinction.
Yes,
Early 20th century, there were hardly any left, were
that's
there?
right. They were almost extinct.
I think Wyoming was sort of the last holdout for some pronghorn.
Thanks to visionary hunter conservationists, pronghorns were saved. Closed seasons, limited harvests, wardens and biologists all help this animal reclaim its range. Today, millions again roam the West.
Scouting for pronghorn is mostly a visual affair because they're in such open country and they're big, bright animals, so you generally just glass. But they make lots of sign that you can look for too if you're getting into a new area, not seeing a lot of game, or if it's particularly hilly with lots of canyons. Look for the sign they make. You know, most whitetail hunters would probably be surprised to know that pronghorns make scrapes. And so you watch on the ground, you see a lot of droppings, you know you're in good country, and then if you see a scrape, bingo, you know you've got a buck's territory. It's very similar to whitetail scrapes. What the buck will do is he'll sniff a patch of ground. It's usually where a doe has probably urinated and left some scent, maybe even a buck. But he wants to mark that it's his special spot, his territory. So he sniffs the ground, paws it out, making that little bit of a scrape, and then he urinates in it, defecates in it, and that's his, I guess it's both an olfactory marker for the scent and of course a visual marker.
With miles and miles of open country filled with grass, sage, and hundreds of antelope, Ron and Rhonda take their time searching for the perfect pronghorn.
Gosh, antelope droppings all over down here. Scrapes? Wow.
The freedom of the hills proves the perfect antidote for life in the fast lane. Out here, hunters can roam to their heart's content. The hand of man rests lightly on these native grasslands, where little's changed in 200 years, and a great buck could lie just over the next ridge.
for it. Okay. Oh yeah. I can just clear the grass here.
While it may appear as though Ron is going to take an unsafe shot at a skyline buck, he's actually situated some 50 yards to the right of the camera with a clear view beyond the buck. And what a buck it is.
Okay. You get pretty close to me. The Winchester speaks. The antelope listens. Ron, I reckon that's about as perfect as one can do on an antelope stalk, eh?
Hey,
You are quite the
job.
guide. You know what I really like about your guiding is your patience and letting the hunter voice his opinion. Sometimes you get a guide that says, you gotta shoot this one, you gotta shoot this one, hurry up, get you all excited. You did great.
Oh, well, thank you.
Oh man, that's perfect. Look at that black face on him. Look at, he's
Oh,
prime.
Ron, that's gorgeous.
Yeah. Here, let me make sure this rifle is empty. Great. It is empty. Would you mind laying that over your pack right there? So we looked at 14-inch bucks, 15-inch bucks, hoping to find a 16-inch buck. Passed up some great animals. It just gets confusing after a while. You know, we had one we called Gnarly, we had one we called the Goose, we had that 15-inch that I got. I mean, I shot a 15-inch antelope. Most guys work all their lives to get a good 14-incher.
We juggled back and forth on what antelope to hunt, but he was still fun. Ron's, he's a good time. We still had a great hunt. It was very exciting. We snuck up on him. Ron made a great shot, and it was a great hunt too. It was a beautiful day, and just had a really good time.
Winchester Legends is brought to you by Winchester Ammunition, the American legend. Swarovski Optic. Night and Hail Game Calls. Bring them closer. Otis Technologies, the most advanced gun care system in the world. Winchester Rifles and Shotguns, the guns that work.
Just because you're hunting in open country where you may have to take a long shot, don't assume you need a big magnum. If you don't like heavy recoil, consider something like the little 243 Winchester. This cartridge shoots extremely flat with more than enough punch to take on antelope. And now, of course, Winchester has its super short 243, the 243 WSSM, with improved ballistics. Either one of these guys will do the job on antelope.
Mule deer, whitetails, pheasants, and African antelope have lured Betsy Spomer afield many times, but this is her first pronghorn hunt.
My wife goes out for her first antelope hunt. Rhonda takes her all by herself. I didn't want to get involved. Well, let's put it this way. Betsy didn't want me in there interfering with this. You know how husband-wife things act sometimes. It's like sort of teaching your wife to drive a car. You've got that classic married couple bickering that goes on because the husband wants everything to go right and he expects his wife to be able to do it right. If you just back off, guys, and let the outfitter or the guide take your wife, they're going to be a lot more patient and a lot more respectful, and it's going to come off much more successfully. And I just stayed back in the car and let them hunt, and Betsy thought it was outstanding.
I think the woman hunter will listen and to a guide a little bit better than maybe more so, pay attention more so than maybe the men hunters. And they're more excited. I think women get more excited and show their emotions maybe a little bit more than the men do. So it's a little bit more exciting hunt than maybe the men. So I enjoy that part of it.
Are we gonna glass?
Let's go up here on this little ridge right here and just glass those little gullies.
Look for the big boy, huh?
Yep, and see what we can come up with.
Okay. I'll look over this direction.
I see a buck down there in that little draw right there.
Okay. You think that's the one? I don't know.
Wow, I think that's the one. He's got a really dark face. Well, Betsy, let's go take a look.
Okay.
Here you
Safety's
go.
on. He's the one.